What's up guys, Rhen here. Today we're talking about a mobile game, Pixel Starships, that is a combat battle resource management game set in space. Answering the question, is it worth it to start playing Pixel Starships in 2021? Or if you're already playing, is it worth it to continue playing? So with that, let's get into it. Pixel Starships is developed by Savvy Soda Development Company, and they describe it as a spaceship micromanagement game based in an 8-bit massive online universe. In this game, you command every aspect of your ship, from construction to battles, in a single persistent world. Now, after playing the game for a few months, I'd have to say that's a pretty decent description. You can see here from the list of features that they have up on the screen, there's quite a bit of stuff you can do in the game, but basically the idea of the game is that you're going to design, build, and improve your spaceship so you can use it to fight in missions and fight against other people across the universe. In addition, you'll work together with your fleet, which is Pixel Starships versions of clans or guilds, and your fleet will do things like competing in the tournament, which is basically a guild wars or a clan battle against the other fleets in the game. So today I'm going to show you guys some footage from in-game, and we're going to go over a list of 10 reasons that you might want to consider start playing this game, or if you already play that you may want to continue to play, and 2 reasons that you might not want to play this game. Okay, let's jump right in. A reason you may not want to play it: this game is not brand new. This did not come out on Thursday, whatever day it is today. It did not come out this week. It didn't come out this month. It didn't come out this year. This game is more than a year old. So that being said, if you are chasing the latest and greatest game from the latest and greatest developer, this is not that game. It's been around for more than a year, 2 years. It's got a proven track record that could be a pro or a con depending on your point of view. We'll talk about that more a little bit later. But basically, you kind of know what to expect going forward with this game because it's been around the block a time or two. I would personally put this game somewhere in the sweet spot between things that are old, things that are brand new, and things that you actually like. It's not going to be the newest, greatest thing. It's not really that old, but it is pretty enjoyable. So let's move forward to the number 2 reason you may not want to play. Right, reason number 2 you may not want to play: the pixel art. I don't know if this is like a design decision, I don't know if this is like a weird hipster Australian thing, but the game is made out of pixels. I've seen quite a bit of this in game designs recently. Maybe it's a trendy thing, maybe people really like this kind of thing. I don't really feel super strongly about it one way or the other, although to be honest, it's kind of the reason I didn't install this game for a while, because I thought it was kind of weird looking. Didn't have super good graphics. Now that I've played it a bit, I really kind of just don't notice it anymore. But if you are super against like pixelated type things, that's probably going to be a turnoff for you. Okay, there you have it, 2 reasons you may not want to play. If either of those 2 are deal killers, let me save the next 4 minutes of your time. Probably just stop right here. You probably don't want to play this game. If those aren't deal killers, let's take a look at some of the good things. Reason number 10, the game is just plain fun. This may seem like a silly reason, but a lot of times these trendy hip new games today leave you kind of wanting for a little bit of that fun. So there it is, number 10, the game is fun. From the thrill of victory to this bitter taste of defeat, kind of leaves you just wanting to come back for more. The game has a bunch of cool variety in terms of ship design, strategies you can use, we'll talk about a little bit more later, but all of it gels together pretty well with a good mix of strategy, planning, resource management, combat, and just all around trying to beat up other people in space. Reason number 9, the game rewards consistency. There's a bunch of stuff to do in terms of PvE missions that give you a good experience to level up your crew. There's a bunch of rewards you can get in terms of mining on this galactic map, stuff to check out in all these different corners of the universe. There's daily objectives and quests to do every day, along with a daily market. All in all, if you want to do the minimum, you can log in and play a couple battles, maybe do a little galaxy map, and then get away without too much of a time commitment. On the other hand, if you do have some spare time on your hands and you want to grind it out, the game rewards you by giving you valuable resources that can be traded to other players, sold, or used for valuable upgrades on your ship. Reason number 8, this game is deeply strategic. I mean deep. You are going to be drinking from a fire hose when you start learning stuff about this game. But that's okay, there's a great community to help you learn. We'll talk about that a little later. There's tons of depth to this game. There's sort of 4 pillars of development that we'll talk about, but in general, there's lots of different strategies you can use. It's like rock, paper, scissors, except instead of 3 things, there's like 36 things. All kinds of specializations you could do in terms of strategies, in terms of crew, in terms of weapons, in terms of what rooms you're using. Oh, and did I mention the AI? This is a reason is itself that this game is set apart from all other games like it, in that your 20 or so crew aboard your ship can all be individually programmed by you ahead of time to perform and carry out different sets of tasks depending on a ton of different conditions that you set. This means that you can, in essence, micromanage every room you have, every crew you have, based on as complex a set of ideas and plans as you can come up with. All you have to do is program it and execute it. Using clever conditions and AI, you can easily outmaneuver opponents, even ones who have more advanced ships or better crew and equipment. Reason number 7, the monthly tournament. The monthly tournament is this game's version of Guild Wars or clan battles, or basically the kind of stuff that you've seen in a lot of other games. They do it pretty well. It's a contest of the fleets that are broken down into divisions. Divisions are based on a grouping of the strongest fleets in the game by tiers, and you compete against all the other fleets in your tier to see who can win the most battles against the strongest other ships, given a limited number of battles you can participate in each day. The monthly tournament is a bunch of fun, it's a great way to get resources, and it's also the only way to access the best set of equipment in the game, which is purchased using the rewards from the tournament. Reason number 6, Pixel Starships is not a gacha game. While there is some elements of randomness to the best equipment in the game in terms of a small bonus stat roll, all of the best crew in the game can be achieved over time by building them through the prestige system. This means that you can take a less powerful crew that you acquire through common resources in the game. Over time, as you level them up, the crew can be combined into more and more rare crew, and eventually the hero type crew can be combined together through the prestige system to create the legendary crew, which is the strongest in the game. That means if you're patient and you plan ahead, you can have access to the strongest crew in the game, just like every other player. And speaking of different crew, there are a ton of different crew in the game. They all have different stats for boosting weapons, different stats for boosting rooms, different hand-to-hand combat skills, different special abilities that they can use. There's just a ton of flexibility and customization you can do within the crew. You can train them to be strong at different things. It's just a ton of different stuff. Reason number 5, the game is still being actively developed. The developers still put out content and balance updates from time to time. You can see here all the patches just in the past couple of months from the fine-tuning and fixing and updating things. For me, this was important to see because I don't want to start playing a game that I don't feel confident that's going to be around for very much longer, and that's not the case with Pixel Starships. In addition, the positive feedback and reviews that the game has acquired over time mean that there's constantly a stream of new players coming in, keeping things fresh and interesting. Reason number 4, this is a mobile game, but it is cross-platform, and drumroll please, this game can be played through Steam. I'm going to say that again, this game can be played on Steam, which means you can use the sweet setup you have on your PC, if you choose to do so, to play this Pixel Starships game. That being said, it's also nice to be able to access it on mobile. It's kind of the best of both worlds. This also means that it has access to all the markets, whether you're Android, iOS, Mac OS, use an emulator, use Steam, use a PC. It doesn't really matter. Because it's cross-platform, all players have access to it, and that helps expand the reach. Reason number 3, the progression system. There are basically 6 pillars of progression in this game. Number 1, the level of your ship. This gives you access to better armor, different types of rooms, etc. Number 2, the level of your rooms, weapons, and shields. Number 3, the level and abilities of your crew. Number 4, the equipment that you equip to your crew. Number 5, you can research through the laboratory, which makes certain things stronger, like the androids you can deploy, like the craft you can deploy if you use the carrier strategy. And number 6, your AI. As you progress through the game, you get access to more and more advanced conditions and procedures in the AI, which opens up the game to different strategies, different implementations, and different tactics. Reason number 2 is the asynchronous PvP system. I've played a lot of games, mobile games, non-mobile games, and this is by far the best asynchronous PvP system that I have ever seen implemented in any game. Now, it's asynchronous, which means you're not playing it against another person in real time, but this is basically the next best thing. Because of the implementation of AI, there is no advantage or disadvantage of being the attacker or the defender. It's your ship fighting against someone else's ship, your AI versus their AI. And while although you can manually control your ship during battle with over 20 individual crew and the same number of rooms, it's really not that feasible to try to do it by hand during a battle that only lasts a couple minutes. That means it all comes down to those 6 pillars of progression we talked about, which can be pretty cool to watch play out. The PvP battles are one of the best ways in the game to get resources that are needed for upgrades and improving your ship. The PvP system uses an ELO type of a rating system where when you win, you gain points, when you lose points. The amount that you lose or gain depends on the relationship of your opponent's score versus your own score. The PvP tiers are divided into leagues. The higher league that you're in, the more rewards you get from the battle, in addition to the resources that you steal from your opponent if you win. It's a great complement to the monthly tournament system, as it's something you can participate in every day. There are no limits. If your ship gets blown up, it does take a few minutes to rebuild, but other than that, you can feel free to fight and grind as much as you want. There's a leaderboard system that shows the ranking of all the top ships, so you can check them out, see what strategies they're using, and if you're lucky, or unlucky, you may just come across them in a PvP battle. Okay, you made it to number 1, and number 1 reason that Pixel Starships is worth playing is there is a fantastic community. It has all the normal stuff that you might expect in terms of a public chat. It has a friends list, it has the market, you've got your inbox, but really, there's more to it than that. The true strength in the Pixel Starships community is in the fleets and the fleet conglomerates. The fleet is a collection of 100 players that all work together to help teach each other, improve each other, share resources, and of course fight together in the monthly tournament. There are plenty of fleets to choose from, and most of the top fleets have trainer fleets or academy fleets where they will teach you the basics of the game and help you move up through the ranks. In addition, there's an official Pixel Starships Discord that has tons of cool information and lots of discussion places where you can talk about strategies, talk about fights you've had, and also get feedback on your ship designs, layouts, and things like that. There's a fleet recruitment section where you can read all about the different types of fleets, what their focuses are. There's social fleets, there's competitive fleets, there's in-between fleets. Basically, there's probably a fleet for anything you're looking for. It's one of the most interesting and welcoming gaming communities that I've seen. It's one of the reasons that I enjoy the game so much. So there you have it, 10 reasons that you might want to start playing Pixel Starships, and 2 reasons you might not want to play. For me, obviously, the pros outweigh the cons. That's why I've been playing, and that's why I will continue to play. You make the judgment for yourself, but the game is free to play. It's 0 risk, so it doesn't hurt to just download it, give it a shot, see what you think yourself. Anyway, guys, I hope this was helpful for giving you a balanced view of the game, pointing out some pros and cons. Let me know what you guys think in the comments if you have any feedback, or if you've tried it, what you liked, what you didn't like. That's all I've got for now, so thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for more cool stuff.